That is a proper one. That's the one I went after. Okay, Lake Eucumbene, it's freezing cold, it's early, we're fishing for big brown trout, trolling the edges and also doing some casting. But for now, I'm just trying to keep warm. 2 big lures out, let's get to it. There we go. And I jumped him off. Bummer. Wasn't a big one anyway. That's on the big lure too. So the whole idea of what we're doing here is, with the shallow running lures, I can keep in shallow. The lake is dropping at the moment, so Lake Eucumbene and Jindabyne are full of yabbies. And as the lake drops, it forces them out of their yabby beds. Obviously, they've got to keep moving out into deeper water. And while they're moving, the browns come in on the edges and they feed on them. So by running the shallow lures, I can fish that really shallow water. These guys are pretty aggressive at the moment. And, you know, if I'm running something that's a bit deeper, you're constantly ploughing into the bottom. You can see over here, we've got a big shallow point. It's all rock and weed and stuff like that. My lures are running about 1 metre, so long as I'm in more than that, I'm in, you know, with a good chance of catching a fish without getting snagged. There we go. It's not a big fish. The bonus is, with floating lures, you can quite literally just stop the boat because the lure is going to float back to the surface that's still out the back. Nothing sinks to the bottom. I don't think, oh, no, I don't think it's very big. But anyway, the fish just rose out there. Oh, it's a little fella. Oh, he's a little guy. There you go. He smashed that little Xrap. Now, the worst thing about this is you grab your trout and then your fingers are wet and then they freeze. Just a little fella, and I can tell you now there's trout in here that would eat that. There we go. And this is on a 13 centimetre long Rapala. Sort of working against that theory that, you know, it's got to be small. Trout are true predators, and especially during the cooler months, they love to eat big stuff, whether it's a food thing or just an aggression thing. And I don't think this is an overly big fish, but just goes to show that a small fish will eat a big lure, no dramas. Here we go. Although sometimes the big guys, they don't do a lot till you see them and they see you, and then it all happens. No, he's just a little brown. He's actually a very small fish for the size of the lure. Check this out. Look at that. There you go, 13 centimetre Rapala and about a 30 centimetre trout. He's done himself a mischief. They do like this crocodile roll and end up like that, all messed up in the gear. Pliers, get these out. Obviously you need to be careful, lots of hooks going on here. I've put plenty of these in myself with trout attached to them over the years, and it's not fun. So he's just a little guy. Look at that. It gives you a bit of a grasp of what they'll do. He is not the one we're after, but it just proves the point. So any big trout is going to have absolutely no dramas eating this. And in fact, a lot of the big fish just feed on big food most of the time. Big yabbies, other trout, things like that. So love pulling big lures for them. Probably not so good for the rainbows, but for the brownies, it's a good thing. You get back in there and you catch me a giant. Just keep making turns, and what that will do is also impart more action to your lures, because one will be on the outside pulling and the other one on the inside slowing down, and then as you turn the other way you get this opposite effect, so your lures are sort of doing this through the water. And it's amazing how often a lure might start to speed up, and that's when you'll get a bite. And it's something we do a lot in game fishing as well, but it works for trout. But this is just a good way to sort of cut that speed down a little bit, because you've always got one lure going slow, one going a little bit quicker, and it does work. Okay, the wind's up, and that's a good thing. It's all about casting at this point, and this is a great thing you can do when the wind gets up. You can do it at any time, but when the wind gets up, that's when it works so well. You work your points, you work back bays like we've got behind us here, minnows, plastics, whatever you want. Let's get to it. We're gonna go find a few fish. It should be fun. Oh, Dunny, bugger. Got me. Oh. Rainbow. What's he doing here? Alrighty. Look at that little male rainbow. He jammed it. And that's all I'm doing at the moment is covering some water. That's all I'm trying to do, just try and find somewhere good to really, I suppose, hold up. But I do like these rocky points. Xrap again. It's doing the job. Just a little fella. He's pretty lean, this guy. So he's going back. That's a male. But anyway, bit of fun. Okay, so it's sort of middle of the day-ish and it's a little bit quiet. The shallow back bays have slowed down, so for a change of pace I thought I'm going to come to these heavily rocked areas and points. Oftentimes the fish you'll find here, they're just cruising and they're hunting yabbies, because there's plenty of yabbies in amongst all these rocks. So you're really hunting moving fish here, and they're often moving quite quick, or they'll even sit in some of the cracks and just wait. But they're quite aggressive when you do find them here, but it's a matter of covering water. So you just poke along, don't, you know, you hit any likely looking bit, but don't spend too long in one spot. Just cover ground, and you'll oftentimes, you know, come up trumps with a good fish through these areas. That is a proper one. That's the one I went after. Oh, that's a real nice fish. This guy's probably going to fire up. Keep your head in. Keep your head in, mate. Keep your head in. Don't do that. See, I'm just holding the rod low. And as much as it's awesome when they jump, it's not what we want them to do, because that's when they usually throw the hooks. That's a nice brown. He's not done yet. He's not done yet. Oh, beautiful fish. Beautiful fish. That's the one we're after. It hasn't been easy fishing. Just plucking away. Oh, don't. Could sort of tell as soon as that fish ate that it was a good one. Just sat there, just shaking its head. And I've missed a couple of other good ones, but this one's in the boat. That is the sort of fish you come to the Snowies for. That's a real nice brown. Really nice brown. He's cold, my nose is running. I didn't get any sleep last night, but that 100% makes it all worthwhile. 100%. What a fish. An absolutely beautiful fish. I love these things. Everyone says, you ever get sick of it? How can you get sick of catching a fish like that in surroundings like this on a new piece of gear like that the new Vanford. That's the 2500, and that is a cracking buck brown. I am really happy with that guy. And you know what? I'd like to eat him, but I'm going to let him go because he is too good to catch just once. Come on. A little bit lean, this guy. It's only spawning thing. That is too good. I'm running 2 outfits here, both with the 2500 Vanfords on them, but I've got the 7'6", or it's a 7'6" so it's like the 4 to 8 pound Zodias, and then I've got the 2 to 4 pound 7-footer as well. I've got a really shallow running lure on one rod, slightly deeper on the other, and I've come into this bay here and it's got big boulders, so I'm just going to swap over and go to a little Xrap, which runs nice and shallow. But I've got this little atomic jerkbait. I'm pretty keen. I'm going to put that on in a sec. That runs nice and shallow. There's big rocks and stuff here. What I don't love about this spot, and you watch, I'm about to get proven wrong because it's what happens. This is really sandy shoreline over here, and you'll catch plenty of fish off it. There's a bit of a soak in the background there, that sort of dark ground, which is sort of shiny. It's because it's wet, but it's more sandy in that stretch there. But I would say anywhere from there along this point here, I've got the breeze pushing down there, so I'm just going to hit that and work my way along through there. But you'll catch fish in these areas as well, but I like this a bit better. So this is the sort of stuff you're looking for. There's just a little, I suppose, little honey holes in a big stretch of whatever. So many lures to choose from, but I'm going to step out of my usual comfort zone of putting on the same old, and I might go to that little atomic, that little brown trouty looking one. Give that a run. I'm always tempted to put on a vibe though. This bouldery country hopping vibes through this area looks just like a yabby, but anyway, I'm going to do this. Change it up, Lee. Stop playing it safe. Ah, those hooks are sharp. So what you're looking for in, I suppose, a lure that's suitable for this or any sort of trout casting as such, you want that longer body profile, that nice long skinny body profile, whether it's a normal Rapala, Xrap, little atomic jerkbait. You know, they've all got that same sort of profile. The different size bib will obviously give you different running depths. This guy's going to run really shallow, but that's okay. And then you can get lures that dive deeper, and I love it when you get a lure that you can get in a deep and a shallow, because then when you find what works, you can run the deep on one rod, the shallow on the other, and then when you hit a deeper ledge, go to the deep diver. When you hit the shallows, go to the shallow runner. Such a handy thing. All right, let's see how this guy goes. Cast nice too. That's a thing that I also like to take into factor of how a lure casts, and especially if you're casting into the wind. Something that can punch through the air well is really helpful. Although there's not a lot of wind at the moment here. I wish there was though. Wind is good. Nice little rainbow, and a short fight, but anyway, you can't really see it here, but with the Polaroids on, you get funny currents in lakes, obviously off points where there's wind, but here I've actually got it's like a rip. So the wind's blowing in here and there's a mud line coming straight out the middle of this bay. So I've started way out here and I'm drifting down in the middle of nowhere, but casting into this mud line. And this rainbow's just jammed it. So I'm going to get this guy in the boat. I'm going home because I am frozen and I got a dinner date. When I say dinner date, I don't have a date. I'm going to have dinner at Rose's Lebanese in Cooma, and let me tell you, if you ever go to Cooma, you have to stop there. Authentic Lebanese, best food ever, and you can't come to this part of the world without having a feed there. I'm going to deal with this rainbow. I've got a couple of trout to clean, but this has been heaps of fun. There you go. Nice little rainbow, good eating size. I'm out of here.